morning, good morning. It's your boy Buddy Rowe. Big truck trap star. Truck trapping, slab sliding, and check chasing. Came in today, come in to talk to y'all about these Atlanta Falcons and the Deshaun Watson negotiations. As you can see, I got my Falcon here on my dashboard here. But I am of the impression that the Falcons, I know they're in the running. I know it's possible that we can end up with Deshaun Watson. But there's a bigger issue for me, or not even say a bigger issue, but another issue. And this comes into play regardless of whether or not we get Deshaun Watson. Trading Matt Ryan. No matter what happens, you can't put Matt Ryan back on the field as an Atlanta Falcon ever again. You can't. You'd be better suited to trade him regardless of the outcome of the Deshaun Watson situation. The fan base is going to go crazy if you flop on the Deshaun Watson trade and end up bringing Matt Ryan back. You're not going to sell any tickets. Not going to ingratiate yourself to the fan base by keeping Matt Ryan. So it serves you no purpose. It pushes you farther down the line to gaining what it is that you actually need. Because he's going to be just good enough to keep you over the threshold of winning a certain amount of games. That's going to push you out of the running for the top quarterbacks in the next coming drafts if you keep it. You could have avoided this a couple of years ago by just trading him and eating or restructuring him and eating the cap. Or just letting it play out to where he can be traded instead of not necessarily restructured, but you could have let it play out to where his contract just played itself out. That way you are not on the hook for this and you can move forward building. My problem with the whole scenario with Matt Ryan was that this was going to happen. Like, because this is year 2 now, up under your coach and your GM on a 5-year plan for both, I think. Is it 5 years or 6 years? But this is year 2. Okay? Now, you're going to have pressure to put a winner on the field. You have pressure now to put a winner on the field. Because had you just said, okay, well, we were rebuilding, the fan base would have understood, and there wouldn't be an expectation of you competing for a championship. There wouldn't be an expectation of you competing for a playoff spot. You would completely take the pressure off of yourselves and put it on the front office for building a team from scratch. Now, every single move that you do is going to be scrutinized. You have absolutely no wide receivers. You have no wide receivers. have no running backs. You have 1.5 linebackers. You have 2, possibly 3 defensive linemen. You have 1 quarterback. And a toss-up on whether or not you have a safety. So, regardless of how you look at it, you are in rebuilding mode. So, no, even adding Deshaun Watson does not make you a contender. So, what does holding on to Matt Ryan do for you? It does nothing. It does nothing for the franchise. It does nothing for the team this year. All it does is keep you just below the poverty line. Trading Matt Ryan now can get you extra draft picks. That regardless of whether or not you get Deshaun Watson or not, regardless of that, it's going to give you enough draft capital to be able to, give you enough draft picks to be able to fill the roster with good players that's going to push you in the direction of being a good team. Because trading him, and by putting a team out there, you're probably going to end up trading Grady Jarrett as well, which to me makes sense. Because you are rebuilding, and because you have given out these bad contracts, because your cap space is so jacked up, because you've lost so many players, because you have so many holes you have to fill. There's no point in keeping it. And out of respect for the player, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it that we want certain players to be Falcons for life. I would love for Grady to be a Falcon for life. But I also don't want to see the guy waste his best years on a team that's not going anywhere. And we did that with Julio. And if we bring Julio back right now, we're not bringing Julio back to be a savior. It's not like that. It'll only be for sentimental reasons to be able to put his name in the Ring of Honor and have him actually be in the uniform while you do it. Those are the only reasons why you'd actually do it, really. But to give him an opportunity, I would trade Grady Jarrett, which also going to give me some draft capital. There's enough talent in this draft coming out to completely rebuild your team, with the exception of quarterback. It's enough talent on it to completely rebuild a team, with the exception of quarterback. I know people are high on Malik Willis and all of this and that. Man, I'm not. I'm truly not. I don't think he's a first-round talent. I don't think Kenny Pickett is a first-round talent. I don't think Sam Howell is a first-round talent. And I don't think Matt Corral is first-round talent. I think none of them are first-round talents. I don't think Carson Strong is a first-round talent. I don't think Desmond Ridder is a first-round talent. So, people are going to reach for those players. But why would you reach for them? There's no need for the Falcons to reach for them. None whatsoever. You can trade Matt Ryan to a team that needs a quarterback who's trying to compete right now. And you'll get something for it. And you'll be able to use that right now to start building your roster. So that the only thing you are looking for is a quarterback. That gives you 2-3 years to play with. But because of the manner in which your front office and your coaching staff have treated this, they've shortened their own shelf life. Because they could have done this from the beginning. They could have done it from the beginning. It made more sense to do it like this. It makes sense to get rid of Deion Jones. It makes sense. It makes complete sense to trade Deion Jones. It made more sense for them to sign Foye Oluokun. It made more sense to sign Foye Oluokun than it did to keep Deion Jones. Deion Jones would be a package deal with Grady Jarrett or whoever, or would. I mean, to whoever wanted him, you know what I'm saying? For whatever, 3rd, 4th round pick, I don't care. Doesn't matter. 1 year left, 4th round draft pick, here, give him to me. I completely rebuild my roster and start from the beginning. Would not spend any money in free agency. I wouldn't. I would just ride with the young guys coming out of college and just build my team from there. And I build through the draft and through rookie free agents. Not because I want to field a horrible team, but because I want to get rid of bad contracts that are not going to allow me to be successful going forward. Not create the same problem I already have by giving mid-level guys great contracts. For what? Trade Grady Jarrett. Get a 2nd round pick for him. Trade Deion Jones. Get a 3rd or 4th round pick for him. Trade Matt Ryan. Get a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for him. Regardless of whether you get Deshaun Watson, you cannot bring Matt Ryan back to the fan base. Not for Matt Ryan's sake or for the team's sake. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to bring him back at all. It makes no sense. Regardless of the outcome of the Deshaun Watson situation, it makes no sense to bring him back. None. The writing is already on the wall for the fan base to know that Matt Ryan will not be the quarterback. Send him off with respect. Get him somewhere where he can go and prosper. Get yourself an opportunity to where you can gain something from him leaving. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just letting this play out and then he walks and you get nothing. And he walks away bitter because he didn't have a chance to compete for a championship or compete for a playoff spot because you have hamstringed your own roster. And he was part of it. So, that's where it's at. It's your boy Buddy Rowe. Big truck trap star. Truck trapping, the slab sliding, and check chasing. Just want to talk to y'all a little bit about this Atlanta Falcons and Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan situation. Y'all stay up. All right.